All right. Hello, welcome everybody to Better Caring's webinar on how you can use your NDIS funding to build your own team of supports that are right for you. My name is Kelly Jones. I work at Better Caring. I'm the General Manager of Community Development, and I mainly work with families who are self-managing or plan managing or sometimes agency managed, looking to build their own teams of support that are right for them. So today, basically, just a general overview of how you can use your funding at Better Caring. Some examples of how people are actually building their own teams of support. So from our real customers on the platform as well. And then just a little bit of the background around the platform and how it works, and a little bit of information around how we onboard our workers as well, or your own team of support. So please don't worry if I'm talking and there's things that you miss or you would like to go back to. We're going to make sure this video is available for everybody. And then secondly as well, we do have questions at the end. So please, if I'm going through something, write it down and we can come back to it as well. I also want to acknowledge this is my first webinar. So I'm happy to be here with you all. So please do be patient with me as well. But we will get to all of your questions as well. So I think on that, we might just get started. So I think we just went through some of these housekeeping really, but yeah, the chat box is located at the bottom of your screen, so please feel free to ask questions. We've got Mandy here from our team, who is amazing, and she'll be taking note of your questions as well to make sure that we don't miss anything, and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. So let's go. All right, so using your NDIS funding to build your own community of paid support on the Better Caring platform. So you can use your NDIS funding at Better Caring, and there are many ways that you can access workers on the platform or bring in your own team of supports. So you can use the platform if you're self-managed, you can use the platform if you're with a plan manager, or you can actually use the platform if you're agency managed, and if you have a provider that is happy to work with you to utilise the Better Caring platform. That's a conversation you would need to have with them. So that within those options, there are other options as well. So for example, if you are agency managed, but say you might have, you would like to actually self-manage your core supports, which is what's been aligned to you to engage support workers, you can always go back for a review, and you could even just try managing the core supports in your plan just to help you get started. So we're happy to talk to people around those different options as well, either at the end of today or offline as well. You can call me here anytime. But in a nutshell, it's self-managed, plan managed, or agency managed if you're with a more progressive provider. Okay. So what we're asking people to do, I guess, is to think differently and to think outside of the box. The wonderful thing is that the NDIS is here and you've been given your own funding, and for the first time ever really, you have real choice and control over the supports you engage and who you choose to be as part of your team. So what we're asking people to do, I guess, is to think a little bit differently around those possibilities and what it means for you, and how you can put your team of supports together. So there are possibilities in your local community. There are possibilities through traditional methods of support. And the great thing about Better Caring is that we can help bring all of that team together in one place so that you can manage those relationships. So it's really important to think in the same way we all think about when we go to engage a service in our life, and not just to look through the traditional methods of how you would do that. So for instance, if I want to engage a physio, I'm firstly looking in my local community, I'm asking my friends for referrals of who they might know and who they trust and have worked well. And we're asking you to do the same thing. When you're looking at the support that's right for you, do look in your own community, look at people that you already know. And it might just be that there's people there already that would be a wonderful complement to what you're hoping to achieve with your plan. So the great thing with Better Caring is that we can bring all of that together, and we can manage all of your team and how they get paid, their insurances, all in one place. And we'll talk to that a little bit further. But just keep that in mind as we go through the next examples. We're just giving you some ideas of how you can build your team. So like I said, it could be from the traditional way of hopping on to Better Caring, finding workers that are already on the platform in your local area, or it could be doing a little bit of community mapping and looking at people you might want to engage. So I'm going to go through now some examples of how people have done their own community mapping and built their own teams. So the first example is Ben. So Ben is a client of Better Caring, and he's brought his team together via supports that were already on the platform and one support that was from outside of the platform and within his own network. So the first thing that Ben did was he went onto the Better Caring platform. Ben was self-managing, so he had full choice and control over the services, and he engaged. He went onto the platform. He found one worker her name was Lisa, and Lisa sort of took the place almost like a lead worker. Lisa went out and met with Ben. They had a look at the types of things he wanted to achieve with his funding, what was approved, and who would be the best people to help him. There were a mixture of things. Some of it was sort of personal care and domestic assistance, and then others were help at the gym and with TAFE and things like that. So there were a wide variety of supports that he needed. So Lisa then helped Ben select other people on the platform that he wanted to meet with, interview, find out if they were right for him. And that kept happening. So he kept building his team that way. But the other really great thing that they did was he worked out with his gym stuff. He already knew someone. He already knew a personal trainer that he wanted to engage as well. So basically, he's now got them on board as part of his team, and we've onboarded them onto the platform, and we pay them on behalf of Ben as well. And we have put the insurances in place around that person. I'm going to talk to you a little bit later around all of the onboarding checks that we do and the insurances that all workers on the platform, whether they were already on the Better Caring platform or you've brought them to the platform, are covered by. But these are just stories to get you thinking really around how you can build a team that's right for you. So the next story is Laura's story. So Laura is a fantastic young lady. Laura is 18, and I went and met with Laura and her mum a couple of months ago to find out really what was important to them when they were looking at building Laura's team. What was really important to Laura was the person had the right values, and actually she said that mattered more to her than someone that had a lot of qualifications. So she just wanted someone that brought the right values when they came to work with her. The second most important thing to Laura was actually the personality of the person and shared hobbies and interests. So that was quite interesting because I think more and more people are thinking, what is really important to me? And it's often not degrees or qualifications as such. It might just be someone that has similar hobbies and passions and definitely the right values. So Laura and her mum, they actually did quite a few interviews to try and find people. They actually placed ads as well to find the right person for Laura. What they ended up doing was finding someone that was already known to Laura that shared her interests, which is horticulture, lots of like swimming, exercising. Laura's a big gym bunny. And then the other thing as well was around cooking as well and nutrition. So Laura actually found someone that she wanted to work with her. It was the first member of Laura's team. They came from her own community and someone that was already known to them. So what we did was we have a registration process here. We actually asked that the person Laura was proposing had 2 reference checks, that they did a police check. Sometimes we ask for a working with children's check, but that depends on age and the requirements that the family is looking for. And we started to onboard that person. Now that person met our criteria of onboarding, and she also met the experience that was needed as well, which was fantastic. So we actually then put the insurances around Laura's worker, much the same as Ben's person from the gym, the trainer, and that's covered by Zurich Insurance as well. And we're going to go into that a little bit later, but just to talk to you, I guess, around the fact that we are committed to safety and making sure that the people that you are bringing on board are right for you and that it is a safe relationship. So it's fantastic. It does work, but we still need to do those checks as well to make sure it's all going to work for you long term as well. So the fantastic news is that Laura is now building on her team, and she has decided to keep doing it in that way. So she's not looking anymore at existing disability support workers or workers that are actually already available. She's actually looking at who else is in her local community that she can engage with. So that's Laura's story. So basically, I just want to talk to you now a little bit, I guess, around what is better caring and how we can help you building your own team of supports. So what we've covered already really is how you can use your funding here and how you can go about looking at building your own team of supports that's right from you, and that can come from a variety of different places. What I want to do now is actually talk you through the background information around Better Caring platform and the services that it offers to help you manage those relationships and manage your own team. So basically, Better Caring is a new model. It's quite revolutionary. It's an online marketplace, and it connects you direct with independent workers in your local community, or gives you the option to bring on people in your local community that you would like to be as part of your team. So it gives you basically ultimate choice and control and flexibility as well. So the main thing to remember is that you actually agree the rates and the services with the worker directly, and the worker actually will set their rates independently and agree with the services that they're going to provide for you. And all of that is done online, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit now about how we do that. The other thing that's really important to remember is that you're not locked into anything. So if you meet a worker online and you interview them and you think, yep, this person sounds great, and you want to give them a go, you can do a couple of shifts with them. And if they're not quite the right fix, because it really sometimes is a personality thing, well, majority of the time, you don't have to engage that worker again. And equally so for the worker as well. So it really is about true choice and control, and you're not locked into ongoing contracts with that person. So let's have a look at how we can work with you. So step one, I think we've already spoken about. We can actually find out what's important to you and what you might need in your life to hit your goals, and the types of people that you're looking for as well to support you in that. Step two, I guess, is like the connection point. So that's where the actual platform comes into play, and that's where you can talk to existing workers on the platform, and you can see if there's anyone there that has the personality traits, qualifications, things like that that you're looking for. Or you can bring someone that you already know. So step three, basically, like I've just said, is managing your own supports through the platform and bringing them on board. And then step four is really around the rates. So I talked to you before how the worker actually sets their own rate. The average rate on the platform is between $30 and $35 an hour. However, there is a lot of flexibility in that, and we would encourage you to hop on, search by your postcode, search by personality, qualification, and actually have a look at what's available, because there's a great variety of experience and also price points as well. Okay, so again, to reiterate, this is now getting into the more technical aspects of the platform. Once you've actually signed up to the Better Caring platform, you're able to, like I said, have a look at what workers are available in your own area and actually start messaging those workers. So finding out a little bit more about them. And we always encourage and suggest that you interview a couple of workers before you get going. So you get a feel for the person, they get a feel for you, and you can tell, whether it's right or not. Once all of that messaging is done online, and you message the worker directly, they get a message from us that they've received a message from you, and then they will respond. So it's a little bit of back and forth really around you both arranging a time that works to catch up. The last step, so that's the higher step, is where we hope everyone gets to, that they find someone online or they bring someone on board that's right for them. And that's where it really comes down to more the schedule of services. So basically you would, you would have the interview, the worker would actually send you an offer and say to you, these are my rates, great to meet with you, these are my rates, these are the services that I'm happy to provide for you. And then once you all agree to that, that offer is accepted online. And then that's also another a safety check, I guess, for everyone. This is what you've agreed to pay me. This is what I've agreed to pay you. And these are the services that I've agreed to do for you. It doesn't have a date in there. Like I said before, you're not locked in. If you don't like that person or it doesn't gel for you, you don't have to keep going with them. It's just providing some assurances around the rates really and the type of services that you're engaging them for. So the great thing about Better Caring and what I love about it, which I think is fantastic, is that for the first time ever really, you can search for workers based on the criteria that's right for you. And I guess what that really means is that you don't have to accept somebody just turning up that you've never met before. You don't have to accept somebody turning up that has a formal qualification if what you're really interested in, like Laura, is more the values and the shared hobbies and interests. So we actually have quite a few search filters. So you can search on the workers' culture, the languages that they speak, their own hobbies, their own passions, and each worker actually provides on the platform a bit of a bio about who they are, what's important to them at work, and the services that they're happy to offer. It also talks a little bit about their experience as well. One thing to keep in mind is when you are searching on the Better Caring platform, you might want to expand your search to broader postcode areas because often we find that there might be a lot of workers that might be just outside of your postcode. So that's always something to keep in mind as well. Have a look around postcodes that are a little bit wider in your circle just to get a really good feel for who else is out there for you as well. Okay, so like I said, you can actually view the profiles of local care and support workers in your area if you choose to try and find somebody on the platform. So you can also review the worker on the platform and you can actually read other people's reviews. So it really is a true consumer model, which is fantastic, and it's very, very transparent. So if you, as a worker, deliver a great service, you get a great review, and the opposite of that as well. But that's all available on the platform, and you can see reviews from other clients and families that have engaged that worker and how they found that service as well. So please do read those reviews. It is, really important information. So, like I said, you can connect with the worker. We often get asked, do I text them? Do I call them? How does it work from here? You message them directly over the platform, and we have a wonderful team in the office here that all work really hard to help you get things going as well. So we're always happy to hear your calls or questions around, great, I've got my profile, I found some workers I want to interview, how do I message them? So please don't be scared, call us, we're here. It is an online platform, but there's a whole team behind you, which is the important thing to remember. So, like I said, you connect with them on the platform, you send them a message, and you arrange the interview on your terms. You agree the rates and the schedules of services that the care worker is going to support you with, and all of that is available on the platform. The other really wonderful thing about it is that every time a worker comes out and does a shift, they upload a timesheet. So that is visible. We always check with you or your plan manager or your coordinator, whoever it may be, to confirm before we pay those shifts. And if, the shifts actually occurred and went through. And then if they did, we arrange to collect the money on the worker's behalf and we pay the worker. The other really wonderful thing about the platform is that it has the ability to write shift notes. So every time a worker comes out to do a service with you, they come back and they do their timesheet and they also write a brief shift note. So that's really important. I guess if you're a plan manager or coordinator, just remember that as well, that you have the availability to upload certain progress notes as well. We have an area where you can upload information that you think might be relevant for the worker. An example of that very quickly is that we had somebody that was wanting to travel, learn to travel train basically. And all of the latest program around that travel training, the buses and the schedules and the routes that they were trying to learn to get to work independently, was uploaded onto the platform, and so the worker could see that as well. So you can still share information in that same way on the platform, which is fantastic. There's also sections on the platform to upload medical information and general support need information as well. So again, happy to talk to you more about that offline. It's a little bit detailed, but just to give you an idea of the types of tools that are available on the platform. Okay, so lastly, really, from me, and then I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys, I just wanted to, I guess, reconfirm that Better Caring is really committed to safety, both from the workers who are registering their services on the platform and to their families or participants, plan managers, whoever it might be, that are engaging those supports. So we have a lot of work really that goes into getting somebody registered on the platform. We have two wonderful team members here, Sue and Ornella, and their role basically is to make sure that every single worker that registers meets our 13-step registration process. And it's pretty intense actually. So the first thing that we do obviously is we do police checks, we do reference checks, we do working with children's checks if required. The second thing we do, which is fantastic, is that if somebody has registered to, say, provide personal care, what we actually do is take that next step and we actually require that they have safer bowel care, an up-to-date certificate, that it is obviously up to date. And then the second thing is that we also try to make sure that the person can demonstrate a certain amount of experience in actually applying that skill, you know, with customers. And that's really important to us, that it's demonstrated well. Happy to talk again a little bit later or to send out some of those minimum onboarding checks so that people get a feel for it. But like I say, it's something that we do take very seriously. We also check nurses' registrations. There's nurses on the platform, which is great to know. And any other type of qualification that someone has uploaded, such as case management, you know, palliative care. We have some people that are able to do that. We make sure that we check those as well. So once people meet that, all of those registration processes, we then provide insurances. So every single time they do a shift via the Better Caring platform, and we can see that you've engaged them to do a shift, they're covered by full Zurich insurance. So they're covered with public, professional indemnity and group accidents. So it's quite a high coverage level there because they're independent contractors, which is fantastic. So again, going back to the timesheets. So the timesheets and payments are all managed online. The worker will put in their timesheet. We will confirm with you that that's happened, and then we will seek to send an invoice to yourself if you're self-managing, to a plan manager if you're with them, to a coordinator of supports who might also do financial intermediary, or to your provider if you're agency managed and they are okay to work with you to build your own team on the Better Caring platform. So that's pretty much a bit of a snapshot and hopefully giving you some ideas of what the Better Caring platform is and how you can actually build your own teams of support that's right from you, and how that can come from you know, local supports along with, you know, workers who are already registered on the platform. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being patient. As I said, it's my first webinar, and I'm actually going to now quickly have a chat with Mandy, I think, who's been taking questions, and we'll get stuck in. Is that right, Mandy? Thank you. All right. So the first question that we have is from Nadine, and she says, I'm agency managed. Can I use the workers on the Better Caring platform? So thanks, Nadine. So this question is becoming more and more common. And what I can say to you is that, yes, you can, but it does depend on the provider that you're working with and whether they are open to using the platform. We do have quite a couple of progressive providers that are open, so it really depends back on the provider. So I'd encourage you to have a dialogue with them and talk to them about it. And Nadine, I'm happy to chat with you offline later as well and give you some more information on how other people have gone through that who are agency managed. So thanks. All right, so Tracy's asked, the NDIS told me that I need a service agreement with each support worker that I hire. Is this true? This is an interesting one, and there have been some different opinions around this, but I think in terms of being safe, that it is a good idea to have some type of agreement in place. So we talked before, Tracy, on the Better Caring platform, how you actually agree to the dollar amount that you've agreed and the services that that person you're engaging with. you've approved or they've offered to do for you. And that actually does substitute as a service agreement. It's an individual thing. Some people want to have them for every provider or support they engage, and other people are not so concerned about it. But yeah, the official advice, and it is advice, is to actually have a service agreement with people. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that doesn't need to be a massive 58-page document. It can be as simple as, this is who you are, this is who I am, these are the hourly rates we've agreed to, and these are the types of services that you're going to provide for me. All right, so Beck has asked, can I work with Better Caring if I have other providers I already work with? You absolutely can, Beck. And I wanted to talk to an example. We showed a photo in the presentation before of a young gentleman with his worker. That gentleman actually works with 3 other providers and Better Caring. And that's a true model of him working out who is right to support him and building his own team of supports. So he actually engages, he brought a worker to the platform and he engages her on the weekend and in the evenings. He engages another more traditional provider for life skills during the day, and then another provider for some home support. So absolutely, it's about making it work for you. All right. So what is the first thing to do to get started? So the first thing to do really to get started, I guess, is to take a step back actually and think about who do you need in your team, or who do you think would be able to help you with the goals and that have been approved, or the funding that's been approved to help you with those goals. So just simply think about that. Who do I need to get on board in my team? The second thing that you can do is hop online. You don't have to sign up. You can actually just go in and have a little bit of a look at the platform, Better Caring platform, some of the workers that might be available in your area. If you want to give it a go beyond that, you can sign up and you can start messaging and interviewing people. So just give it a go. Talk to your plan manager, talk to your provider, talk to your coordinator of supports and say, hey, I'm thinking of building my own team. Can you help me with that? You know, just start having those conversations. That's really the best way to get started with it. We've got more questions? Okay. Okay, so we've got a question which is fantastic actually from a care worker. So hello. And it's actually asking, how do potential clients find out about Better Caring? So in terms of, I guess, people that are looking for supports, Better Caring has a community engagement team, and our role really is to raise awareness. So we go to lots of client-led forums, lots of grassroots networking. We work and talk to a lot of plan managers, independent coordinators of supports, providers as well, and it's basically led by the client, which is fantastic. If the client really wants to use the platform, they're often then talking to their people that support them and say, hey, let's have a look at this together. So we also are regulars on Facebook, which is probably how you found out about this. And yeah, so I think the word is definitely out there, but generally that's how clients seem to find out about Better Caring. Okay. So from Fiona, so I thought that if you were NDIS managed that you had to use registered providers. I didn't think Better Caring was a registered provider. So Fiona, that's actually a really fantastic question. So Better Caring isn't a registered provider. We are very supported, our model, by the NDIS, but we are not a registered provider. We do have some workers on the platform who are registered. But let me take you back a step, if I can, everybody, and talk to how, if you are agency managed and with a traditional provider, you can still use Better Caring. It all comes down to what the actual provider is registered for. So some big providers are registered for core supports, and that actually allows them, if they have an agreement with you, and if it's right for you, to actually broker out those services or look at how they would get those services happening for you. So because they're actually registered for that core supports, it actually gives them some choice and control and some flexibility as well around where you get those supports from. So it's a bit of a complicated answer, and I hope that made sense. If not, Fiona, give me a call. We've got the number here, and I'm happy to talk you through that a little bit more. But it really comes down to what the provider is registered to provide. So core supports, capacity building, you know, you are able to use Better Caring. So I hope that clears that one up a little bit. Okay, and we've got a question from Ray. So how much does Better Caring take from the rate we pay to workers? Okay, so thank you, Ray. So basically from the rate that the worker sets their own rates, which might be $30 or $35 an hour. Better Caring takes 10% of that, and that actually goes towards covering your insurance policies and basically a little bit around the maintenance of the online platform and the team that we have here as well, supporting the ongoing needs of the platform as well. So it is 10%, and like I said, that covers your insurances and also a bit of marketing around you having your profile on the platform and people being able to connect with you. So thank you. And I might add on that actually, Ray, because that's a good point. So we charge 10% or take 10%, sorry, when we collect the workers' pay to cover the insurance. And the actual client, they pay 5%. And that really just covers, obviously, the use of the platform, messaging workers over the platform and finding workers over the platform. So that's why it really is still quite a cost-effective model where workers actually get paid a little bit more and the clients get paid, well, they get to pay, even though they might be paying $30 an hour, they're only charged 5%. So it's not a massive overhead there. So thank you. Is that it? Yeah. So guys, I just wanted to wrap up. I think that's it for us today and just say thank you so much for joining us. We hope to do more of these, so please do, if there's anything today that you thought, you know what, it'd be great just to do something just around that one topic, please let us know. More than happy to respond to that. I just want to make sure it's as helpful as it can be. If you have any other questions after today, you can just email us. You can see that on your screen now. So that's info@bettercaring.com.au. Or you can give us a call with the team here, which is 1300 73 6573. So my name is Kelly as well, if you want to talk to someone that you've seen today, which sometimes helps. But we've also got a full-time team here as well that's available if you called and just wanted to clarify anything from today. So thanks very much.